Hey family, we are live, broadcasting live. This is the Conversation Room 101. Make sure it's only adults in the house. I need your mind to be open, prepared, and relaxed. Welcome to our home. Take your shoes off. We got some rules we need to go over. Be kind. No cursing in the chat. If you want to curse, call in. And no shouting out other channels. That's a no-no. We got one other rule. There is no judging our guests. It will not be permitted. Zero tolerance. And if so, you want to do that, guess what? We got security. And we will escort you out. Because over here, hashtag we don't care. We're going to be one big family. We're going to laugh together sometimes. We're going to cry. But we definitely going to pray. I thank the Lord above for everything. I lift him up and give him the glory. But you guys, right now, we're going to get our popcorn. And then we're going to see what's going on. And let me just park my car. And I'll be in there in a minute. I'll see you soon.
The Copyright Disclaimer Act. The Copyright Disclaimer Act under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news, reporting, teaching, scholarships, and research. Fair use is used permitted by copyright statutes that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use.
Like, share, subscribe.
Do you want to know? Well, I've been thinking about you. And I think I have to listen. Because the sun is up, it's a beautiful day.
And we won't stop. We will not stop.
Sun. Come, won't you come along? And it feels so right. It's like luck is raining on me. Go and follow your heart. Doesn't matter how far. There is so much love to give. Something's telling me this time. Baby, baby, now
See this? How you cannot go?
Baby, baby, gotta go. There is so much love to give. Something's telling me it's right.
Neighbors and the
When you
community
came to me,
compelled to
who are
scour
you?
the area.
It's you, yeah, boy.
Where does the fault lie on you?
Hey family, come right on in. Come right on in. You guys, hey, I want to give a shout out to Lisa Taylor. She was the first one in the building. Thank you, Lisa, for being there for us. Shout out to you. And she also is a member, you guys. Nancy LaRose, shout out to you. You're number 2. Shirley Stockdale, shout out to you. You were number 3. Hey, you guys. Hey, let's talk a little bit. I know I'm early. I came on early because today's Friday. And you guys are in for a surprise here. We're going to talk about Naziah Harris. She came up missing January the 9th, 2024. And they're just now trying to get prepared for them to go to court. They did charge already Jarvis. You guys, I've got some things to talk to you about. Hey, Smooth Carter, how you doing? Miss Capricorn C6 in the building. Let's make sure it happens. Okay, so they had court today, you guys. You guys know that they were going to have court March the 7th, which today is March the 7th. That's what it says, March the 7th. They started at 6 o'clock. I don't think they got to him until like 9, 10 o'clock or whatever. But anyway, nevertheless, you guys, let me tell you what happened in court. If you don't know, you're going to know. And so I can tell you, I took some notes here, and then plus I will read. But the only thing court was going to do today, and I told you guys, was going to set up dates and times. That's all it is. It's called a calendar conference. And what they do, they call it a calendar conference. And what they do is set up and make sure everybody is available, and there will not be no discrepancies in, this day, that day, because they can't just run dates and just say, okay, be here, June the 10th to June the 20th, when somebody might be getting married, somebody might be having graduations, somebody might have vacations. So that's what a calendar conference is all about, making sure that the defense and the offense, or if you want to say the prosecutor and the defense, come together and make sure that the time is correct and good and everybody's on board. Everybody, their witnesses that they're going to call can be there or subpoena them in an appropriate time. You guys know how it is. I don't really have to explain it to you, but I explain it because some people, they want to know. They want to know what it is and what did they do. So that's what they did today. They sit down and they all agree that come October the 6th, they will start the jury picking. So technically, they call it their starting trial because October the 6th, they're going to start picking the jurors. Okay, that's one thing that they got done today. And they also, so they got key dates. They're gonna pick the jurors on October the 6th. The judge wanted to know how many people the defense was gonna call. The defense said that they can call up to 40 people. The defense, and I'm gonna make sure that's right, but I'm pretty sure it is. So the defense is Jarvis's attorneys saying that they're gonna call 40 people to try to prove, because Jarvis said that he's not guilty. He's like, I'm not guilty. And then the offense said 10. That's kind of different. Defense, offense. Man, I would think the defense would be the prosecutors. Okay, let me read a little bit and let's make sure we can get this on here, okay? Detroit man charged in the murder of missing 13-year-old Naziah Harris will help. They head to trial in October. Jarvis Butts, 22, is charged with first-degree premeditated murder, second-degree criminal sexual conduct, and child sexual abuse activity. Butts is accused of having an inappropriate relationship with Naziah, who was last seen getting off her school bus at the corner of Cornwell and 3 Mile Drive in Detroit on January the 9th, 2024. Her body has never been found. Okay, Butts appeared in court today, Friday morning, for a calendar conference. A calendar conference allows the legal team the opportunity to discuss trial logistics, including motions, hearings, and motion filing dates. Naziah's friends and family was present at Friday's calendar conference. Okay, on January the 9th, the 36th District Court Judge Aliyah sent the case to the 3rd Circuit Court for trial. Following 4 days, I knew my job would call me. They called me at the wrong time. Testimony in a preliminary examination. Butts pleaded not guilty on January the 17th. Jury selection will begin on October the 6th, 2025. Prosecutors said Friday they would call 40. And see, that's what I thought. I don't know why they said the defense. So I guess the defense in this trial is the prosecutor, because I guess the defense is defending Naziah, not the person that's charged. So sometimes that's why I said, like they got to prove that he's guilty. So I couldn't see where the defense would be his attorneys, because the less people, you're only gonna be able to call so many people, because they got to prove that he's guilty. He doesn't have to prove that he's innocent. But you know how the courts work. You guys know how that works. If you know how it works, tell me how it works in the comments section. So the prosecutors are going to call 40 or more witnesses to the stand while the defense plans to call. So the defense is the Jarvis's attorneys. See, I knew that. Sometimes when you listen to the news, see, you guys, I write down what the news say. And that's why I have to read it for myself. The trial is expected to last 3 to 4 weeks. The jury selection will begin on October the 6th. Prosecutors said Friday they could call 40 or more witnesses to the stand, while the defense plans to call 10 or more. The trial is expected to last 3 or 4 weeks. Butts also has been... Listen, this is really important. This is powerful, because a lot of us, and I did not know this, and I know you guys are going to say, oh, maybe some of you guys in here knew it. Please let us know in the chat if you already knew it, because that lets me know. Sometimes when you're talking to me, you might know what you're talking about, and we got to listen in here. We just don't listen to everybody. But, there's some people in here that comes in here and they share what they need to share. And I want to say thank you. I do. I want to say thank you. But sometimes we got to hear where not technically tell us the name of the channel or the person. But, like, did you hear this from the horse's mouth? Did you hear this from the cousin? And then sometimes, I will call you on the side or something and say, hey, let us know, because, we don't want to start arguing with other channel holders, because just letting the information getting out there is a good thing. And sometimes we get twisted in that, and some people be like, oh, you just want clicks and views. Hey, you don't really get a lot of clicks and views when you just putting out the information. Some people can get it, some people's busy. So just because you heard it doesn't mean everybody else heard it, okay? So this is what I want you guys to know, because like I said, I did not know, but Jarvis Butts also has been charged with the sexual abuse of 2 other girls in separate cases. That is not talking about the 2 people previous to this case. The little 4-year-old and the 8-year-old. You guys know what I'm talking about. That's been already settled. This is the 2 other girls in this case, separate charges. You guys understand what I'm saying? And see, when I heard this before, it was not presented like this. So my thinking was, he's been charged, meaning past tense. We're talking about why he was in jail and did penitentiary time previous to the January the 9th situation. No, they are actually talking about 2 little girls has confessed it. Somebody was in here just 2 days ago was saying some little girl was on the stand. I'm to yet to see and hear that video. What I seen and heard did not it was not like I don't know. Like I said, I've gotta be a little bit more attentive and sit down and look and hear it. And I was at work at the time, so maybe I'm not hearing it or seeing it. Sometimes you got to look and hear that stuff 2 or 3 times. You know what I'm saying? I get mixed up all the time, just like everybody else, and nobody's trying to do it intentionally. So don't come for me. Okay? So that was very important. Tina said, I heard that. So yeah, Butts also has been charged with the second sexual abuse of 2 other girls in separate cases. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? Man, he was, and I wonder, is it going to be the other sister's child? Or is it just the friend? But it's 2 other little girls that said, hey, you know, he did this to me and he touched me, or he wanted to do this with us. Now, I know I heard at the birthday party, he said something, and like I said, I don't know it to be a fact. I just heard it in the wind. And I couldn't even tell you where I heard it from, to be honest with you. I heard it and I kind of was like, oh, you know, it's always good. I tell you what I do. And I mean, you guys can do what you do, and I'm just telling you what I do. When I hear stuff and I know it's not a fact, it could be hearsay, it could be somebody just talking, it could be a total big lie, it could be, you know, allegedly, it could be just what it is, just a whole bunch of, you know, I heard it, and then it gets switched up, and then you done heard something totally different or whatever. So when I hear stuff from people, I don't take it as they lying or whatever. No, I put it in my memory bank that I heard it, and then I wait and watch for more information. Maybe it's true, maybe it's not true, but I don't act on it. You guys understand what I'm saying? Until I see it for myself, or I heard it from the horse's mouth. So sometimes people get mad, but you know, that way you don't get sued. That way, you know, you don't get it. You know, can't nobody argue about something that they know that they, you know, they'll get quiet real quick. You be like say for instance, I'm gonna give you a good example. I'm not talking about nobody in here or whatever like that. But say for instance, I said something like, do you know for a fact, okay, yeah, I can use that. Okay, do you know for a fact that all the kids are Jarvis's? And somebody say, yeah. I say, well, how do you know that? Well, we all know that. What do you mean you all know that? Did you all see the results? And I know for a fact that they're going to say no. I know, because people just don't walk around going, hey, look at the results, unless they showed it. And if they showed it, then show me where you got it from, or tell me where you got it from. Tell me that it's a fact. But when it's just, everybody think it's just evidence just because Shannon says, I got 5 kids by Jarvis, that they all Jarvis. Oh, she filed paternity on all her kids. She may even think all her kids is by Jarvis. She know, or she may trying to make him think that they are. And you know, since the last time we was on, I'm going to tell you what I've been thinking about. Because I love when people come in here and they share what they know and they share what they believe. I don't get upset or mad. I pick on their brain to hear where they got that information and why do they feel so strongly about it. I loved, some people get it wrong. They be like, oh girl, da 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 da. As long as we're not arguing and you get mad at me and, you know, tripping, you know, because I wouldn't come to your house, you know, okay. It's just like if you were baking a cake, a chocolate cake, and I know how to bake a chocolate cake too. Okay, I come to your house and you're baking this chocolate cake, and I be like, girl, scoot over. You know, you don't do it like that. I can't do that. That's disrespectful. It's just unprofessionalism. It shows your age, and it shows like, especially being over the age of 20, it shows your immaturity. Because Here's the thing. You can't go to somebody else's house, or you're not supposed to. People think that, oh, we're on the internet. I can be so, I can be whoever I want to be. You don't know who I am. You don't know where I live. You don't know what I look like. So, I'm just going to come on here and troll, And I don't know why people will do that, but I mean, they do it. I mean, maybe they feel some kind of way about the case that they want us to get it right. I give them the benefit of the doubt, but that doesn't mean get indignant or something about it or get mad. I mean, I love to hear it. I always, when you guys call, I try to check it out, what you say. I really do. If you tell me something, you be like, no, SP, I'm telling you, go check it out. I say, okay, give me some time. Let me check it out. Let me check out what you're saying. Because I'm going to be responsible of putting out some really trashy information out there, and I'm not trying to do that, Make other people be like, oh, it's my bad, and then they go on with their life. And they may have 20, 30, 40, 50,000 followers or whatever, and 100,000. Well, I have a conscience and I can't do that. I will feel bad because once you ring that bell, you guys, you can't unring it. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to be able to get a hold of everybody that heard what you said. Now, if you make sure that you say, well, this is what my belief are, or I'm just assuming something, or allegedly, that's better than just being direct and saying, this is true, because you really don't know, So anyway, and like I said, coming to somebody's house and telling them to scoot over so you can bake the cake because you think your recipe is better, or you know more, or you whatever. You just don't do that in real life, in real time. You just don't do that. You might say, girl, you cooking that cake wrong. I done told some people before, I be like, girl, you doing that wrong. But I mean, you don't want to listen. You bake it however you want to bake it or whatever. And we laugh about it, and they may listen, they may do it their way. And then when it comes out, I say, well, how did it taste? Well, next time try it this way or whatever. And that's how you learn. That's why I tell you guys, I learn from you guys. I don't get mad. When the young lady came up last week, was it, not last week, but Wednesday, I'm not mad. Some people may be like, ooh, SP, you were mad. You was like, no, I wasn't. I was looking for some information that if she could share with me and enlighten me, then yeah, I want to hear it. And she did share. One lady, I can't even remember who it is. That's how, so I'm like, some little girl was on the stand? Why I didn't see that? Why I didn't hear that? Let me go back and look. You know what I'm saying? Her name was Miss Carter, and I'm glad that she had some information. Exactly. Very. And I tell you guys all the time, one person is not going to know all the information. So don't be scared. Please do not be scared. Speak up. Because when you don't speak up and y'all be saying, oh, I just love Naziah. I just love, why they do the baby like that. Well, if you knew something, if you knew something, why you didn't say something? Maybe you can reach somebody that's on the channel that lives out there. You might say, well, we all say go look at the car body shop. Go look at the body shop or whatever. I mean, a lot of times when I look at Jarvis, I be looking at him trying to get some kind of sense of where he would put a child, or where could she be at. And sometimes I believe because I don't never say 100% she's deceased. I can't do that. There's got to be some hope there. Okay, so let's talk about that for a minute, you guys. Do anybody feel there's any hope for Naziah? Because sometimes I get a sense of hope, like, could he have hid her? Or sent her and she's staying with a cousin, a relative, or something? Could that be a possibility? I mean, but could it? Somebody talk to me. Could that be a possibility? It could. I mean, I've seen crazier things, but it could be a possibility. And that weighs on my mind a lot of times. I want to, and some people be like, nah. Now, if it was your child, you would think it would be a possibility. You would. So those of you who ain't said anything, but I know in the back of your mind you're going, he took her out. He did this, he did that. But if it was your child, you would hope and pray. You would hope and pray there was a possibility. And you don't want to hear from people saying, she gone, she dead, he buried her, you don't want to hear that. Tina says, I'm 50 and a half of me says yes, she's still here. The other half says no, because it has been 2 years. It's been 1 year. It's been 1 year. 1 year and 2 or 3 months. She was gone in January, so you got January to January is 1 year. Then you got February, March. So you got January, you got 14 months. Right? So I know it's a strong long hair. And, we're not dummies, But, it's just really weird how everything was placed in. It seemed like it was staged. Like her school ID is over here, and then there's some clothes over there, and then a shoe over there. But we can find all that, but we couldn't find her. And it's also funny that Shannon went and filed a paternity test on the very next day. She didn't look for her. But I did also think too, because I always think about this case, I did also think, could it be, because some people was like, yeah, Shannon went and filed paternity test the very next day, January the 10th, because Shannon was mad. Or Shannon knew that she's gone. She had something to do with it. And I'm going, okay. But they didn't never look at, could it be because she didn't come home? And Shannon thought to herself, oh, I told you to leave her alone, or I can't believe you doing this, so I'm going to show him something. She didn't come home. She's with him. So Shannon was like, could be like, okay, I'm going to go file this paternity test on him, and, because I'm going to make sure he broke all the time. He want to go screw my niece. She mad. She upset. She don't think. She could be like, she didn't think she was missing, like really missing, like she with him. Because I believe Shannon, if she's not a part of it, and some people say she is a part of it, I don't know if she's a part of it or not. I mean, that's always going to be somebody's assumption. See, that's one thing. I keep an open mind. I don't know if she's a part of it. I believe she knew. That's for sure. I believe she knew. And that is just an assumption that I believe that if you let her, Naziah, use your phone as much as Naziah had her phone, you knew. Because if anybody used my phone, but it's not a fact, you guys. I'm going to tell you that. It's not a fact. The child from the 2013 paternity test is the same child who testified to catching Naziah and Jarvis having sex in the shop. Robert says the child from the 2013 paternity test Robert, hold on. See, I love when y'all come out and say what you're saying. The child from the 2013 paternity test is the same child who testified to catching Naziah and Jarvis having sex in the shop. Okay, Robert. I don't know what you're saying. The child from the 2013 paternity test. That would be the other little girl. That would be Shannon's daughter. No, not Shannon's daughter. The child from the 2013 paternity test is Shannon's daughter. Is the same child who tests. Are you sure of that, Robert, or you're just trying to put two to two together? Is the same child who testified to catching Naziah and Jarvis. That would be Shannon's child. See what I'm saying? When you're talking about the paternity test, you're talking about Shannon's child. And you got to remember, when we was talking about the 2013 paternity test, you got to remember Jarvis was in prison, incarcerated for 8 years prior to that test. I mean, he's been in prison. So, cause you got a paternity test in 2013, let me tell you, she didn't get pregnant in 2013 or have the baby in 2013 because Jarvis was incarcerated for 8 years. He was incarcerated for 10, but by the time of 2013, he done already did 8 years. It's straight. They don't let him out. So what are you saying? See, that's what I'm saying, you guys. And would you think Shannon would really let her daughter get up there and the man that she loved and say, oh yeah, I seen him. I'm just, see what I'm saying? So, yeah. I'm not feeling that. I'm not feeling that. Hey, Phyllis D. Hart, how you doing? Haven't seen you in a long time. Anyway, you guys, I didn't want to stay on here long. I didn't want to make a long video today. There was something else I wanted to share with you guys before we get off of here. And I want you guys to know, you remember the case that we were following about the Michigan woman that hit these kids while driving drunk and at the boathouse, at the club boat or whatever, and they let her out on a bond and all this other stuff, and she ended up killing 2 kids at a birthday party. If you guys remember, put a 1 in the chat. If you guys remember that case where the woman at the Swan Boat Club, it was last April in Monroe, Michigan. If you guys remember or not, she was found guilty on all charges. Yes, Tina. She was found guilty on all charges. Okay? So she faced multiple charges, including second degree murder in connection with the death of 8-year-old Aliyah Phillips and 4-year-old Zion Phillips, and was also charged with 2 counts of operating while intoxicated, causing the death, and 5 counts of operating while intoxicated, causing seriously injury. In addition to the fatalities, there were several people injured that day. Jurors, hey Benita, long time no see. Jurors handed down the guilty verdict on Thursday after 2 hours of deliberating. Police say the 2 children was attending a birthday party on April the 20th at the Swan Boat Club in a township when a vehicle crashed 25 feet into the building. The trial began Monday, and on Thursday, you guys, they found her guilty after 2 hours. They rested his case Wednesday after hearing testimonies from investigators witnessing the mother of the 2 children killed. The defense presented its case and rested Thursday morning. Prosecutors argued that Chichester was drunk at the time of the crash and presented witnesses who claimed that they smelled alcohol on her. Investigators testified that tests showed that her blood alcohol content was 0.18, more than twice Michigan's legal limit of 0.8. However, the defense questioned the test of blood drawn on the day of the crash, claiming that the blood wasn't shaken enough after it was put in the vials to activate the preservatives. And closing arguments was presented just before the court's lunch break Thursday, and the case then went to juries. And they found her guilty on all charges. All charges. So you guys, when we seen that, we was mad. Anyway, I wanted you guys to always know, if a case that we talked about, a case that we looked at, and even though people say it wasn't an accident, her getting drunk and drinking, she always drunk and got, and she had money and she thought she was going to get out of it. She had hit a tree prior to that and all of that, and she had her a nice attorney that was some kind of movie attorney, but she, a lot of people say, movie attorney, what are you talking about? She had hired her attorney that helps high profile cases when it comes to actors and things of that nature. So the 2 kids passed away. It's crazy. But everybody thought she was going to just get off and walk out and go home, and and the town was mad. They was so mad at her. And I get it. I understand. That's why I tell you guys all the time, like, one day you can get out and do more than what you think you're going to do. And so while you're sitting there at a bar having a drink or whatever, and then you get in that car You chose to get in that car, but you ruined somebody else's life. She not only ruined one life, you got to think about the mother, the father, the other siblings, these kids that will never ride a bicycle, drive a car, get married, date, go to the prom, go to school. Their life just ended because she wanted to drink. Yeah. And you want to think about it, life, some people be like, is life fair? Exactly, Bonita. It was very sad. And you know what's so funny? And I think it's not really funny, but when something like this happened, the good thing that comes out of this, you guys, and I'm just being truthful, people that's human come together. You guys start taking off the discriminating against, the hate of different colors, the hate of different alternative lifestyles and things of that nature, and you guys come together for a common cause. It's a child that is hurt. Sorry to hear that, Tina. Your youngest daughter took you on the Bahamas. Yeah, Michigan is bad, and it has been bad. I tried to tell people, they were like, not only Naziah is missing, there's another child in Michigan is missing. And then you got to remember, there was a young lady named Zion. Her cousin took her out. I think that was in Michigan also. And yeah, Michigan is something else. I've been there before, but just in the airport. And I think I caught a little taxi or ride or something and drove around, because the layover was maybe 2 hours or something. It was a long layover. So I just wanted to ride around, get out. I just didn't want to sit down. It cost me like $20-$30 just to see a little bit. But I've never just been to Detroit and got a room and stayed. I'm too scared to go to Detroit. I am. I'm too scared. I just found out 3 days ago that my grandson cousin, was taken out by a drunk driver. Yeah, you guys. Yeah, drinking is not good. But let me see, did they say? They said let's go back to Naziah real quick. So the last calendar conference will be June the 20th. They should have everything in line, so he will come back to court June the 20th, you guys. SP, do you remember Shanna's daughter testifying to catching Jarvis and Naziah having sex, and then he tried to have sex with her, and she asked him to take her home? I don't remember that. That's why I need to go back and look at it again, Robert. I need to go back and look at it again, because for some reason I don't remember that part. But I guess you remember it and somebody else said something of that nature. I don't remember that part. But I want to see something, because would that be I want to see that one part again. Detroit on January the 20th. I want to see. But also has been charged with the sexual abuse. So when they say sexual abuse, that means it actually happened to two other kids. Because they wouldn't say sexual abuse if it was that he asked them. Or would it be? You guys, would you think if could that what they're talking about? That he asked the girl. Oh, see, are you talking about at the party? Because there was a girl at the party, but you're saying she caught them at the auto shop. Hey, woke to God. We were talking, I don't know if you missed it. I will give a recap real quick. That Jarvis was in court today. The only thing that they did, they had a calendar conference. So they got all the dates together. They will start picking the jurors come October the 6th. The prosecutors say that they're going to bring in at least 40 or more witnesses. And then Jarvis's attorney says that they got about 10 people. But that's all that they did today. He will have a court date June the 20th. And that's the last calendar court date. So it's just going to be another court date just to make sure all the dates are correct. And if anybody asks for anything, any motions need to be in there, filed, things of that nature. I can't remember what it was called, but in the last case that we was watching, the prosecutors at the end had filed some kind of motion to, if the person was found guilty, that the judge has no say-so on what to give him, but to give the max. I'm hoping that these attorneys do the same thing in this case. I can't remember what it was called in the RICO trial case with Young Thug. But I'm hoping that's what they do in this case. I was like, whoa. And so the judge was like, you know what? And I mean, they was like, yeah, whatever, you get found guilty, then you're going to get the max. You're going to get the max. Anyway, that's what was in court today, you guys. That's all I have. And that's all I have to share with you. Robert says, yes, she testified SP to catching Naziah and Jarvis having sex in the shop. She said Jarvis was naked and Naziah was on top of him with no pants on. Oh, wow. You got details. Well, that makes me believe that's what you must have heard. Man, I want to hear that so bad. And you know what? I believe, because the other young lady came in here last Wednesday was saying something about some young lady testified about something. And I keep going over it. I don't know if they cut it. They took it out. I can't find it. Yeah. Anyway, thank you, Robert. I will still keep looking to hear that. Okay? Anyway, you guys, I'm going to get off of here. Like I said, I don't want this to be long. We be making it too long. And I will see you guys next time. Make sure you guys be good, be great, and be nice to each other. Bye.